Welcome into another episode of Live Good Dynasty. We got a mailbag episode today. How you doing, Nate?
Doing great, man. Happy to jump into this and take a look and see what's going on in the world of our community and what ideas they've got going on out there. Because things are looking bleak within my own leagues, so I'd love to just see what's going on with with leagues outside of my control.
Well, Nate, we're at 76 subscribers, and we have a modest goal of 100 coming up by the end of the year. What happens if we hit 100 subscribers, Nate?
Well, if we hit 100 subscribers by the end of October, a couple of magnificent things are going to happen.
Ooh.
One, we finally get to see behind the facial curtain of Mr. Arlen Love. He will be shaving off that voluptuous beard that he's got rocking and rolling. I don't know that I've seen him clean shaven. Maybe I have and erased it from my memory. But we'll see what he's hiding back there for sure. And then thing number two that'll happen, and for some reason Arlen finds this greatly entertaining, we get to see what a genetically broken facial hair experience looks like from myself.
For a month, you're gonna grow that
for
thing out
for a full month. We'll go November, no shave November. And to be honest, in the real world, I usually don't have to shave, but every 5 or 6 days. So we'll see what happens after a month. But I, as a direct preview, I'll tell you, you'll get 3 very clear patches of hair that are clearly where they're supposed to be, and then other things will happen, and we'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to it, so make sure you support that mission. And also jump into the comments. Both liking and commenting helps us out, but the comments, we also just enjoy interacting with y'all. So jump down there, let us know what you want to see next. We're going to do running backs, and if people are allowed, we'll do tight ends, but wide receiver is probably the next one of a re-rank of our. I don't want to do tight end. I don't know why I said that out loud. I don't want to do it. It's
I
so
was not
messy.
Prepared for that.
I wasn't either. It came out. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. But today we've got mailbag, and that's what we'll focus on. So also know that we are on Spotify. We are on Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, and something else, iHeartRadio. But if you are listening on one of those, we are also on YouTube. So jump on there and check it out. All right. We've got your questions for this week. One of them felt. It's an interesting one. Sam Darnold or Stafford for the rest of season. They have Hockenson and Cup.
They have Hockenson and Cup.
Yeah. So basically, which stack do you want?
Yeah.
But rest of season, which do you think is stronger, Stafford or Sam Darnold? And I mean, the instant feeling, it's probably due to putting some respect on that name, except for last week. But my instant thought was Sam Darnold. But Stafford he's getting his weapons back. He doesn't have too tough of a schedule ahead of him, but he didn't really show up this year. I think it is Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah, I think that's on paper. We don't know what post-injury Cup and Hockenson are going to look like, so that's a factor. I think the stronger stack for me would be Stafford Cup, but holistically speaking, just for total points, what we've already seen proven this year, I'd want the Darnold side of that. Because Hawkinson's going to be at least stable. But Darnold shows that he knows how to use the tools that he has. He's not a lighted up quarterback that's going to be super sexy, but he can get JJ the ball where he needs it, or even close to where he needs it, as we've seen happen a few times this year. Yeah. Jefferson will still make the catch. And when you get Hockenson back, that's just icing on top of the cake. But Darnold outperforming Stafford so far this season, I don't see any reason for that to change.
This came in 10 minutes ago, this one, and I feel like, yeah. Okay, so a trade. I'm assuming this is redraft. Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown for Kelsey and McLaurin. I'm on the Kelsey McLaurin side, I think. I think Chase Brown is definitely, if it's redraft, you have running backs that are, I think, a little bit more valuable than if it was Dynasty. But Kelsey's been heating up a little bit. I lean the McLaurin side myself.
Yeah, we talked about in our previous episode how much we're loving the McLaurin connection that he's having with with Daniels, so I'm on that side of it for sure. I think it's like the only right way to go.
Yeah, that's weird.
Interesting. 32 minutes ago, we had one come through here that is, should we give up Pollard and Dell to get back Bowers and I? Give up Pollard and Tank Dell to get back Bowers and I.
It depends. This is not trying to be a cop-out answer, but for me, it depends on what your running back situation is. If you can spare it in redraft.
Yeah.
In Dynasty, my quick answer is I'm 100% on the Bauer side.
Right.
In redraft, it really depends a lot more on what your running back situation is. I think Pollard's going to continue to do what he's been doing for the rest of the year. So I lean that side for redraft.
Yeah, Pollard's the guy they paid, right? And he's the guy that they've been trusting in the offense so far, just like making things happen. I saw one run from him last week where it was completely busted up and they couldn't get anything going. And all of a sudden he just like randomly gets the ball in his hands and runs for a 19-yard touchdown. Like he's just the guy that they're trusting to find ways to make the plays work when you're hoping Will Levis proves that he can do something. Plus you got Tank Dell and you're in redraft right now with Nico Collins out. I was more bringing this question up to see where your feelings are today, because we've brought this name up a few times in the last few weeks, are with Aiyuk.
Yeah, well, I can see a world where it happens for him. I'm starting to wonder if the talent is where the money ended up. But I'm not ready to just like say that but it's obviously a question right now,
Right.
if that's going to be consistent. Also, if some people who are paid really well are better in real life NFL than fantasy, and that's also like an outcome that's possible with them. I am not putting money on Aiyuk for this year. I think it could still be a good investment. I'm a little worried about this year for him and how consistent he can actually be. I think a couple of things need to happen, like Debo gone, or maybe when McCaffrey comes back, it starts. I mean, Jordan Mason's been doing a great job, but maybe it just starts moving a little bit more to a high power, and Aiyuk benefits from that. But I don't see the consistency getting there this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a valid point, though, because I think when CMC comes back, assuming he gets back to performance this year and not just being a body on the field that splits carries with Mason, but like that will help drive the passing game that we're not seeing with Mason, and another pass target for defenses to account for, and maybe that opens up Aiyuk a little bit more, because Mason's not getting that today, right? So, yeah, I would hold on Aiyuk. I'm not trusting.
Yeah, this is a good one. Better rest of season for redraft. James Cook, Brian Robinson, or Jacobs? In what order, I guess?
Rest of season, assuming health for all three. I think the top of the heap for me would be Brian Robinson.
Really?
Playing Bijan. Yeah, it is. That's where I'm at.
Really? Okay. He's my third.
You want to go, bro?
Let's go. No. I like to hear. I like all three of these players.
Yeah.
So my first is Cook. Your first is Brian Robinson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My two is Cook. Your two, obviously, then would be Josh Jacobs. So, yeah. So so Jacobs is last in mine. So we do a straight flip of our my one is your three, right? And that's our biggest split. But yeah, I think they're close. I think Brian Robinson is showing he can do everything with the ball, and yeah, he's got Eckler there, but who's in there in obvious pass situations for them right now. And I think hopefully McNichols dips out, but Brian Robinson started the year doing everything that that you want out of a 3-down back, which is not the split that I expected. And I think he goes right back into that. And then I just love a running back that's playing alongside a quarterback that does what Jaden Daniels is doing. So that's why I trust him that way. James Cook for me, or I guess I'll ask you why you have him number 1 before I talk about why I have him number 2.
One, I would say I would speak to Eckler being the reason why I don't. I have some faith in Eckler continuing some momentum, which brings Brian Robinson down. James Cook, I feel like because he missed this last game, maybe he got a discount on this answer from you, is what I would challenge.
Okay.
But because I mean, he's been solid all year. And the one thing that the big knock on him was that they didn't use him at the goal line last year, and they began to this year. Now, to be fair, he got injured. I can't remember if that was a goal line situation or not, but they're using him as the number 1, and I think they continue doing that. That's why I'm with him number 1. Josh Jacobs, I feel, has continually been successful. There's nothing crazy, but I think over the rest of the season, if you're looking for like average, I'm just really afraid of Eckler becoming more of a thing throughout the year and damaging Brian Robinson. So I think that's why Brian Robinson's 3rd and Cook above.
Okay. I see it. Of the 3, with the person that's hurting them, like when we think about Austin Eckler for Brian Robinson, we think about Ray Allen for James Cook, and maybe I'm second guessing my choice of Robinson over Cook, but Josh Jacobs I have solidly at 3 for a couple of reasons. One, like he's not getting the reception game that he could be. He's not as workhorse as he used to be with the Raiders, obviously, and I just looked up his age. I can't believe he's only 26. Because I just feel like he's been around for so long. But I feel like Emmanuel, like of the 3 of them, when we think about Eckler, when we think about Ray Allen, I think it's Emmanuel Wilson that's eating in the most to any of these 3 guys.
Well, we just discovered Ray Davis now too is actually good. Like all of them have something there, huh?
Did I just say Ray Allen like 5 times?
Did you say Ray Allen?
I was saying Ray Allen.
Oh,
I just mixed up
Josh Allen and
No, well, I think it was more Braylon Allen, and because I was thinking about secondary play, like so Braylon Allen and okay, all right. I was not thinking about the prolific 3-point shooter.
We got there,
from
Boston.
Well, we don't talk about Boston here.
We don't talk about Boston. No. All right,
but yeah.
All right,
Jacobs
power
3 for me.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 power questions real quick. I have 1 minute until I end this recording. Power question: Is this trade worth it? Get Malik Nabers and Drake Maye for Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna say what's your redraft in Dynasty? Give me both answers. I'm Nabers on both.
Yeah, I can see it. Nabers and who is the quarterback?
I don't think I'm Nabers on both. That's a little extreme. Yeah. I think Dynasty I'm still Justin Jefferson, but I get it, and I want to say Nabers. I'm really close, but I'm gonna say Nabers for sure. Redraft.
Yeah, this year he's proven it. And it's sexy. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about the Dynasty answer, to be honest.
I know. I didn't think this was gonna be a head scratch. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be. All signs point to he's gonna be the guy, and I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's where I'm at with Malik Nabers. Like it's so strong that I'm in a place to only 5 or 6 weeks in for me to say like, you're stupid for not picking him number 2 overall in your draft this year. But Justin Jefferson, he's still the guy. But if I'm thinking in 3-year cycles like I do with Dynasty, it's close, but I might be on the Malik side.
All right. Well, that's fun. I want the next question I'll ask you the next episode. It's a good one. Okay. I want to ask you, so I'll give you a second to think about it. A whole week. But I want to see like what would be. We should redo the whole draft for rookies, but I want to see like what's your top 3 picks. Think about that.
Question?
Yeah,
top 3 picks.
But this is the end of this episode. We'll be back with running back rankings, re-ranking from the previous. All right, y'all. Have a good one. This has been real, and we'll be back soon. Subscribe. Get that beard on that man's face.
Get it off his.